demand and call to action. Number one, immediate reversal. We call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to immediately revoke this unconstitutional proclamation and reinstate the elected governor, deputy governor, and state assembly of Rivers State.
We're talking about building a society where no one is oppressed, as reflected in the top paragraph of our national anthem. As a former president and also from the Niger Delta, when the issue of suspending the governor came up, I think people call on me, oh, President Jonathan, oh, President Obasanjo, you should say something.
This situation is actually a few days old. And I was watching what action will be taken by the House of Assembly, by Senate, and even by the affected politicians in Rivers State, whom I expect to be in the court by now.
Hello everyone and welcome to today's video on Amiable Sim News, where they give you the daily gist about what's in the happen for the world, especially for Nigeria. We know say for some days now we don't hear some things where they happen for Rivers State, especially the state of emergency where our president Bola Ahmed Tinubu been put, and also the suspension of our governor for the Rivers State, Nigeria. But then we no come hear from some top politicians or top people for the community or for the society who will be the expect to talk. But later on, we can notice say Wole Soyinka, Prof. Wole Soyinka, and our former governor Goodluck Jonathan don't finally put mouth for this state of emergency matter. But for this one now, remember say people be already they talk say things they happen for other states, many things happen for other states, but they no put state of emergency for this other state. Now for Rivers State, with many things, nothing really they happen. Like people, especially me now, they Rivers State, things now when they happen for Rivers State, we know why they put state of emergency when nothing serious, nothing critical will they happen for the state. So just here within Prof talk, Wole Soyinka talk, and our former governor president Goodluck Jonathan. But as you watch this video, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Now the only thing now we'll go see say okay, people like what they do and more continue to do. If we don't get any support, we fit no continue. So thank you.
We're talking about building a society where no one is oppressed, as reflected in the top paragraph of our national anthem. As a former president and also from the Niger Delta, when the issue of suspending the governor came up, I think people call on me, oh, President Jonathan, oh, President Obasanjo, you should say something. People expected us to say something about what is happening. And of course, people don't even know that traditionally all over the world, former presidents hardly make statements about what the current presidents are doing because of the tension it could create in the country. In most cases, look at America, look at everywhere. So hardly for former presidents to make, sometimes you see. And of course, what is happening in Nigeria today, regarding the situation in Rivers State, it's like an Indian proverb that said that if somebody is sleeping, really sleeping, you can easily wake up that person. But if the person is pretending to sleep, you find it difficult to wake up that person. The key actors in Nigeria, from executive to the legislature, locally, Senator Binta and others are here, and the judiciary, they know the correct thing to do. But they are refusing to do it. They are pretending to sleep. And waking such a person is extremely difficult because the person knows the right thing. A clear abuse of offices, clear abuse of power, clear abuse of privileges, cutting across from the three arms of government, from the executive to the parliament to the judiciary. And I always plead with our people that whatever we do affects everybody. And sometimes we do things and we think that it doesn't affect us. I've been a president before, and even after leaving office as a former president, people get to me. Why is that our passport is not valued that much? Why is that Nigerians are not given the kind of treatment we're supposed to receive at international airports? Sometimes we think it's because of Yahoo boys or 419ers. No, not only them. Yes, they are part of the problem. But whatever happens in a country, decisions that are taken by the executive arm of government, decisions that are taken by the parliament, judicial decisions affect everybody. For example, no businessman can bring his money to invest in a country where the judiciary is compromised, where a government functionary can dictate to judges what judgment they will give. No man brings his money to invest in that economy because we are taking a big risk. So whatever we do affects everybody. And if we must build a nation for our children and our grandchildren, no matter how painful it is, we must strive to do what is right. It may cost us, but we must endeavor and pay the price to insist on doing what is right. Whether you're holding an executive office as a president, a minister, or a governor, or a special advisor, or executive, whether you're holding an office in the parliament, senate, or rep, whether you're a judicial officer at the high courts or appellate courts, we must strive to do what is right. If we want to build a nation that our children will be proud of. As we engage in these discussions, let us remember that promoting social change is not a one-time event, but a continuous process. It requires a sustained commitment, collective action, and unwavering dedication to the values that promote good governance. Let us also recognize that social change is a shared responsibility, one that requires the active participation and engagement of all stakeholders, including civil society, the private sector, and governments. In conclusion, I want to again express my gratitude to the Haskell Satumari Foundation for convening this colloquium. And
now, ladies and gentlemen, our demand and call to action. Number one, immediate reversal. We call on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to immediately revoke this unconstitutional proclamation and reinstate the elected governor, deputy governor, and state assembly of Rivers State. Two, National Assembly reduction. We call on patriotic senators and representatives to vote against this illegal action when it comes before them for approval. The National Assembly must stand on the right side of history and not allow itself to be used to legitimize an unconstitutional power grab. Three, judicial intervention. We urge the judiciary to act swiftly in striking down this proclamation, as it sets a dangerous precedent that could be used to arbitrarily remove any governor in the future. I am very happy to read the ruling of a judge in Rivers State which directed a status quo.
This situation is actually a few days old. I was watching what action will be taken by the House of Assembly, by Senate, and even by the affected politicians in Rivers State, whom I expect to be in the court by now, because above the president himself, there's the law, and I expect those who are affected to take the primary step. Let me confess that I was surprised at the ease with which this emergency law, that step, was applauded and passed. And then the critical question, even within the powers of a president under a democratic dispensation, there are areas of discretion. And you're quite right to point out this wholesale suspension of everything to government. I think that's an over excessive response within the rights and the powers. We're assuming now, let's say that the president is constitutionally right, but within his powers, there are also areas of discretion. And I think that the wholesale scuttling of the democratic existence in the rivers was excessive. I think it could have been managed much better, much more economically. I think the president did not sort of curb the extent. He didn't economize on his presidential emergency powers. On that issue, I agree with you absolutely. There's an issue of the Constitution. Is the president's action constitutional? And I hope the affected politicians, governor and representatives, that they test this all the way up so that we get a clearer picture once and for all. Instead of running around in circles from regime to regime, it should be possible by now for one to be able to say confidently that this action is illegal, is unconstitutional, or otherwise. So for now, I think we can leave it to the constitutional lawyers to guide us. Now, the next question is it politically wise? In my view, this takes us on a slippery slope. It's not what I would have liked to see happen right now with all our struggle to attain a federal structure. The spirit of it, in my view, is contrary to the spirit of federalism. Now, very carefully and deliberately, because this does not vitiate maybe the rightness of the action. It does not establish the wrongness. But with my commitment to a genuine federal structure, when an event like this happens, I see we're back on the slippery slope. And I hope that it is tested all the way, because as I've said, we've been through this before under different regimes. So that we have a decentralized federalist structure, or we have a quasi-dictatorial, whimsical kind of government which just panders to the political leaning of whoever happens to be in charge at the moment. So that's my take on it. Obviously, I'm going to go deeper and find out just what on earth has been going on in the real estate that led to this, what I consider an unfortunate step in our federalist journey.